Hello, welcome to Evolve, the place where we build one another up, share your opinions, your thoughts, ideas, beliefs, and your feelings, where you would never be outcast for being who you are. So let's begin. Have you ever wanted to go somewhere and it just seemed difficult to get there? How about having a trip planned and paid for, then at the very last minute you had to cancel it? I have been there in both situations. One I can remember is that I planned a trip, paid for it. This was just months after the 9/11 incident. I reached the airport, and after getting a glance at how large the planes were, I immediately decided not to take that trip. I knew I was going up in the air, but I wasn't sure how I was going to land. So fear of flying settled in that time. Then another time I planned to go on a trip, and guess what? It was COVID-19 happened this time. No one could travel at this particular time. So I understand when you are trying to get somewhere and then boom, you have to cancel and there you still haven't reached your destination. Well, that's when I said to myself, is it not meant for me to go to this certain destination or what? The truth is, life can take many turns and change our whole course of where we're wanting to go. It doesn't mean you stop trying to reach your destination. It just means you may have to take another flight, or the timing may not be right that time, or the money situation may not be right at that time either. But if it's the right destination for you, you will reach it. But what if it isn't your destination? You can always be sure whether it is or not. You will know because once you get there, it's either going to be it or you will find out it just wasn't where you were destined to be. Life has a way of showing us these things. And even though we may take our own course in doing things our way, if it's not your destination, don't become angry or upset or what you thought was going to happen didn't. It just wasn't it. And it's okay. This may happen more than once before you actually do reach a destination that was truly meant for you and where you were meant to be. Sometimes that guy upstairs has a whole different plan and destination. And guess what? If it's in his will and not yours, be prepared to know it won't happen no matter how hard you plan. So I say this to say reaching your destination isn't always going to be a smooth one. But if it changes along the way of trying to get there, it just may be where you were meant to be and not where you want to be. So we have to be prepared that trying to reach our destination, we may encounter change. It can be shocking. Hey, how did I get here? Well, that's because you were meant to be where you ended up at, and that destination you were headed for wasn't for you. Accept it and keep progressing forward. I have noticed that for myself. I wanted to go on this trip while traveling. I ended up on a whole different route trying to reach my destination. I ended up being in a whole different state and city, but it was that state and city I found out it was where I grew spiritually strong. If I had ended up where I wanted, I probably wouldn't have been as strong as I am in that area today. So it wasn't a place I wanted to be and didn't even have it in my plans, but I ended up there. It was where I learned so much about myself and how I didn't have to just go along with things, but I could change what I could and live safely through the things I couldn't change. I remained very prayerful in those times, but not to say tolerate whatever. No, you don't. Not at all. Set your boundaries and your limits. And know that wherever your destination is, be sure to impact lives by showing or sharing the meaning of love. It travels in every destination. Well, if you have enjoyed this podcast or would like to suggest a topic to discuss or just would like to send an email, you're more than welcome by sending your topic suggestions or email to evolvetopics@gmail.com. This is Tia Londa. I'd like to thank you for listening in on this podcast. Keep yourself safe, be kind, and I'll see you. Why not bring a friend on the next episode of Evolved?